The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the physics class. Hope you all are fine. In the previous class, we have discussed on the universal law of gravitation, the factors affecting the force of attraction, and also some problems related to that formula. Isn't it? In this class, we will study about the force of gravity. Force of gravity. Can you tell me the formula for finding out the force of attraction between two objects? F is equal to G into m1 m2 by d square. Isn't it? Where m1 and m2 are the masses of two objects and d is the distance between them. Here we are considering mass of an object, or we are comparing the mass of an object with that of Earth. Let us consider the force of attraction between Earth and an object. Okay, if the mass of the Earth is represented by the letter m and the distance between that object and the center of the Earth is represented by the letter r, how can you write that formula? We can write it as F is equal to G into m by r square. Okay, F is equal to G into m by r square, where capital letter M stands for the mass of the Earth, small letter m is the mass of the object and r is the radius. Okay, so can you tell me where will be the force of attraction maximum? What is the shape of the Earth? Earth is not a perfect sphere. It is bulged at the equatorial region and flattened at the poles. That is, the distance from the center of the Earth to the equatorial region is more than the distance from the center of the Earth to the poles. Okay, so tell me, where should the body be placed to get the maximum force of attraction? Okay. Where should the body be placed to get the maximum force of attraction? Is it at the equatorial region or at the polar region? Yes, polar region. Why? Because the radius is less. Isn't it? അതായത് ഈ സെന്ററിൽ നിന്ന് ഇക്വറ്റോറിയൽ റീജിയനിലോട്ടുള്ള ദൂരമാണ് കൂടുതൽ. ഏതിനെ ദൂരത്തിനെക്കാട്ടിലും? പോൾസിലോട്ടുള്ള ദൂരത്തിനെക്കാട്ടിലും. Okay, so as radius decreases, what happens to the force of attraction? They are inversely proportional, isn't it? That is, when radius decreases, force of attraction increases. Okay, so here the object should be kept at the object which is kept at the polar region experiences maximum force of attraction because the distance from the center of the Earth to the poles is less, or the radius is less. And you can say the force of attraction is minimum at the equatorial region because the radius is more. So, what will be the force of attraction at the center of the Earth? If the object is kept at the center, what will be the force of attraction? It will be 0 because the radius is 0. Is it clear? So from this we can conclude that the force of attraction is maximum at the poles because the radius is less. Force of attraction is minimum at the equatorial region because the radius is more. And the third one, force of attraction is zero at the center of the earth. And what is the formula connecting force of attraction between earth and an object? F is equal to gmm by r square. As radius decreases, force of attraction increases. Is it clear? So we will move on to the next topic, acceleration due to gravity. Consider a stone kept at a particular height. What will be the velocity of that stone? It will be 0, isn't it? Imagine the stone is falling down freely. So what will happen to its velocity? Velocity changes. Isn't it? When velocity changes, acceleration takes place, and here the object is attracted by the earth. So that acceleration is known as acceleration due to gravity. Is it clear? Now, what is the formula connecting force of attraction, mass and acceleration of the object? According to Newton's second law, we have studied one formula for calculating force, isn't it? What is that? F is equal to ma, isn't it? Where m is the mass and a is the acceleration. Here, it is acceleration due to gravity. So we can rewrite that formula as F is equal to mg, where g represents the acceleration due to gravity. Is it clear? Let it be equation 1. Tell me the formula for finding out the force of attraction between the earth and an object. It is F is equal to gmm by r square. Isn't it? Let it be equation 2. Now, compare these two equations. We know F is equal to mg and F is equal to gmm by r square. Instead of this F, we are going to substitute mg. Is it clear? അതായത് ഈ ഫോർമുലയിൽ എഫിന് പകരം നമ്മൾ mg സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുക. എന്താവും ഇപ്പോൾ? mg is equal to what is remaining? gmm by r square. We are going to find out the formula for acceleration due to gravity. So g is equal to gmm by m. When it comes to this side, it becomes division, mr square. Okay, m and m get cancelled. What is remaining? gm by r square. Is it clear? So acceleration due to gravity, g is equal to gm by r square. G is equal to gm by r square. This is the formula for finding out the acceleration due to gravity. G is equal to gm by r square. What does g stands for? G is the gravitational constant, isn't it? What about m? M is the mass of the earth and r is the radius. Is it clear? So here you know the value of g is a constant. The value of g does not change. What about the mass of the earth? Whether mass of the earth changes? No, it is also a constant. The only thing that changes is the radius. We have already studied the radius or the distance to the polar region is less than the equatorial region. അതായത് ഈ പോൾസിലേക്കുള്ള റേഡിയസ് ആണ് കുറവ്, ഇക്വറ്റോറിയൽ റീജിയനിലുള്ള റേഡിയസ് കൂടുതലാണ്. So the only factor that acceleration due to gravity depends is the radius of the earth. Whether it depends on the mass of the object, ഉണ്ടോ? എമ്മും ക്യാൻസൽ ചെയ്തു പോയി അല്ലേ? Acceleration due to gravity does not depend on the mass of the object. So once again, it's a very important thing. Acceleration due to gravity does not depend on the mass of the object. It depends upon the radius. So can you tell me where will be the acceleration due to gravity maximum? പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ? അതായത് നമ്മൾ ഏതിനെ വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് കമ്പയർ ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്? നമ്മൾ റേഡിയസിനെ വെച്ച് കമ്പയർ ചെയ്യണം. നമുക്കറിയാം, ആസ് റേഡിയസ് ഡിക്രീസസ് വാട്ട് ഹാപ്പൻസ് ടു ആക്സിലറേഷൻ ഡ്യൂ ടു ഗ്രാവിറ്റി? acceleration due to gravity increases. They are inversely proportional. കാരണം ഇവിടെ താഴെയാണ് അല്ലേ? അപ്പോൾ റേഡിയസ് കുറവ് എവിടെയാണ്? പോൾസിലാണ് അല്ലേ? പോൾസിലേക്കുള്ള ദൂരമാണ് കുറവ്. So where will be the acceleration due to gravity maximum? It will be at the poles. Minimum at the equatorial region. Why? Because the distance or the radius is more. So what will be the acceleration due to gravity at the center of the earth? It will be 0. Okay, so once again, first point, acceleration due to gravity is maximum at the polar region because the radius is less. Second one, acceleration due to gravity is minimum at the equatorial region because the radius is more. As radius increases, acceleration due to gravity decreases. Okay, and the last one, acceleration due to gravity is 0 at the center of the earth. It is same as the force of attraction. Is it clear? So understand and study. Okay, now we can find out the value of acceleration due to gravity of the earth. How much is the value of acceleration due to gravity? We will find out now. Now we will find out the value of g, acceleration due to gravity of the earth. Okay, we know the formula g is equal to gm by r square. By substituting the values, see here g is equal to, what is the value of g? 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 nm square by kg square. And m represents the mass of the earth. Mass of the earth is 6 into 10 raised to 24 kg. And the radius is 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 meter whole square. Okay, so while substituting this, we will get the answer as g is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, the value of g is 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, since the earth is not a perfect sphere, its acceleration due to gravity will not be same at the polar region and equatorial region. Isn't it? So the exact value of acceleration due to gravity at poles is 9.83 meter per second square, and acceleration due to gravity at equatorial region is equal to 9.78 meter per second square. Okay, but for calculation, we are taking the average of these two values and it is taken as 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, so for calculation, you don't want to write the exact value. You can take the approximate value as 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, so what is the acceleration due to gravity of the earth? It is 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, now we will find out the acceleration due to gravity of the moon. Now we will find out the acceleration due to gravity of moon. Okay, g is equal to gm by r square. See here, 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 nm square by kg square into, what is the mass of the moon? 7.36 into 10 raised to 22 by radius is 1.74 into 10 raised to 6 whole square. You will get the value as 1.62 meter per second square. Okay, that is the acceleration due to gravity of moon is 1 by 6 that of the earth. Okay, earthine കാട്ടിലും 1/6 കുറവാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് ഇതുപോലെ earthൽ നടക്കുന്ന പോലെ ഒന്നും മൂണിൽ പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ cannot walk because acceleration due to gravity is less. Okay, so you have to study these values. No need to study these calculations and all. Just study the value. Okay, acceleration due to gravity of earth is 9.8 meter per second square and acceleration due to gravity of moon is 1.62 meter per second square. Is it clear? Okay. We have discussed already that acceleration due to gravity does not depend on the mass of the object, isn't it? So one question. You are dropping a stone and a piece of paper. Okay, you are dropping a stone and a sheet of paper. Which one will reach the ground first? Which one will reach? Stone reaches first, isn't it? After some time, the paper reaches. What is the reason here? as we have discussed, acceleration due to gravity does not depend on the mass of the object. So they should come together, isn't it? But here the stone reaches first, after some time the paper comes down. What is the reason here? It is due to air resistance. Galileo was the first person to find out that the paper reaches a bit later due to air resistance. Objects like paper falls slowly. Galileo was the first person to argue that it is due to air resistance. But you know, in science, everything has to be done experimentally, isn't it? So at that time, there was no instrument to remove air. And Galileo's argument was proved right by Sir Isaac Newton. Okay, Galileo ആദ്യം ഇങ്ങനെ പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു എയർ റെസിസ്റ്റൻസ്, എയർ ഇല്ലായിരുന്നു എങ്കിൽ സ്റ്റോണും പേപ്പറും ഒന്നിച്ച് തന്നെ വന്ന് വീഴുമായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷേ അത് പ്രൂവ് ചെയ്യിക്കാൻ, അതിനെ എയർ റിമൂവ് ചെയ്യിക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു ഇൻസ്ട്രുമെൻ്റ് ഒന്നും ആ കാലത്ത് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല. ലേറ്റർ ഹിസ് ആർഗ്യുമെൻറ്റ് വാസ് ഫൗണ്ട് ഔട്ട് കറക്റ്റ് ബൈ ഐസക് ന്യൂട്ടൺ. That experiment is known as feather and coin experiment. Okay, so what is this feather and coin experiment? Let's see. Newton took a long glass tube with stone and feather in it. Okay, then he made upside down. എന്ത് ചെയ്തു? അതായത് ഈ ലോങ് ഗ്ലാസ് ട്യൂബിൽ ഒരു ഫെദറും കോയിനും ഇട്ടു, എന്നിട്ട് അതിനെ പെട്ടെന്ന് തലതിരിച്ചു. Which one will reach first? Yes, stone reaches first, followed by feather. After some time, he removed air from the tube. And at that moment, he saw both the feather and the coin reach the other end simultaneously. And Galileo's argument was proved right by Newton. And that experiment is known as Newton's feather and coin experiment. So if there is no air, all objects are uniformly accelerated. Okay, all objects will come down at the same speed. Is it clear? Now, we have already studied every object attract each other. So a stone is falling down means the earth is attracting the stone, at the same time stone is attracting the earth. Once again, consider a stone falling down. Why it is falling down? Because earth is attracting that stone towards its center. Okay, at that moment itself, the stone is attracting the earth also. Earth stone attract ചെയ്യുന്ന പോലെ തന്നെ സ്റ്റോണും earthനെയും attract ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. But it is only the stone that comes down. The earth does not rise up. What is the reason? Even though there is a force of attraction between these two objects, earth does not rise up. What is the reason? As we know, F is equal to ma, isn't it? So what is A? A is equal to F by m. Okay, A is equal to F by m. So acceleration of the stone can be written as F by mass of the stone. Okay, what about the acceleration of the earth? How can you write? Acceleration of earth is equal to F by mass of the earth. Okay, so what is the relation between mass and acceleration? See here, acceleration and mass, they are inversely proportional, isn't it? As mass increases, what happens to acceleration? Acceleration decreases. Okay, as mass increases, acceleration decreases. Here, which is having more mass? Earth is having more mass. Okay, so as mass increases, what happens to acceleration? As mass increases, acceleration decreases. Okay, acceleration of the earth is less. That is the reason why earth does not rise up. Is it clear? Mass acceleration of the earth is less since mass of the earth is more. That is the reason why the earth does not rise up. Is it clear? What will be the acceleration of the object if the object is falling freely? whether it is uniform acceleration or non-uniform acceleration. It is uniform acceleration. Okay, so whether the equations of motion, already we have studied equations of motion, isn't it? Whether these equations of motion are applicable to uniform acceleration. Can you tell me the equations of motion? Which are the three equations of motion? V is equal to U plus AT. Then S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Then V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. Isn't it? These are the three equations of motion. Whether these three equations of motion are applicable to the object in uniform acceleration. Let's see. Take the case of the first formula. What is the initial velocity of that object? It is falling due to gravity. Okay. So initial velocity is 0. So we can write it as V is equal to 0 plus AT. Okay, here acceleration is acceleration due to gravity. So we can write it as 0 plus gt. Why I have written g instead of a? It is acceleration due to gravity. That is the reason I have written it as g. So v is equal to gt. So the first formula can be written as v is equal to gt. Take the second case. S is equal to ut plus half at square. S is equal to initial velocity 0, 0 plus half gt square. So we can write S is equal to half gt square. This is the second formula. Okay, next take the third case. We can write it as V square is equal to 0 square plus 2gs. That is V square is equal to 2gs. These are the three equations of motion of an object falling due to gravity alone. That is an object with uniform acceleration. So what all things we have studied today? We have studied about force of gravitation and acceleration due to gravity, force of attraction or force of gravity and acceleration due to gravity are maximum at the poles, minimum at the equatorial region and 0 at the center of the earth. Okay, so hope you all have understood what is taken today. Go through the class. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. See you all in the next class with a new topic. Bye.